I clicked record. This is so strange. Okay, well, recording started. I need to find out where it saves, but I guess I'll figure it out later. Once I have no space on my computer whatsoever. Okay. In that case, let's start. I'm gonna start sharing my screen first, I guess. I'll turn off everything, including, well, everything essentially. Okay, I'm gonna start with something as simple as turning on the dataset. All right. Once I turn it on, then I'll know everyone knows how to turn it on and what should come next. So share my screen. Just my screen as a whole, I guess. Okay. Can everyone see this? This is so strange.
Yeah.
Okay. So I downloaded the dataset. I'm gonna clean this all up.
Who else is being snoopy on what's on his?
What a gamer!
Of course. Well, this headset, you know, it has to be here for some reason.
I was going like this.
Keto dust.
Data set is right here, right? I'm gonna turn it on, and this thing turns on straight away. Okay. This is how it looks like for me. Does everyone have SPSS turned on like that straight away?
So was this the downloaded data set that Martin had in the lecture?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Right.
And I believe
so
this has not changed one either. So this is the one that he basically, well, this is a starting one, the basic one that we didn't do any changes to at the beginning, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Does everyone have it on? I see.
Mine isn't opening.
Okay, I'll wait then, because let's.
No, it's not let. I think it's a problem with the remote desktop because it's not letting me do anything now. I've opened it on Minerva.
Okay.
And I've clicked open, and it's starting SPSS, but it's being incredibly slow. So I think you should just crack on.
Okay, I'll crack on with explaining then what is what to start with. Okay. So I asked Martin a question in the seminar about the stats from 1 till 17, right? All of these things. All of this thing is just basic information that Qualtrics will provide you with. So whenever I guess the whole thing started and the whole thing ended, the response time, so the type, so basically just, I don't know, that's IP address apparently. So basically who did it? And basically all of it is just general information. So this is nothing we have to take care of whatsoever. All right. So don't worry about this. Once we start with the part 18, that's where the questions start. Now, another question I asked him was, why is this like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? Now, from what I understood is that because each of these presents us with basically one answer as like, for example, Aldi, Lidl, Tesco, Sainsbury's, Morrison's, and so on. So each of this is just question 0, but the answer is basically completely different sort of a thing, if that makes sense. Like it's not like there is a scale between Aldi and Lidl. It's just basically either number 1, number 2, which one you took as an answer. And I believe there's 9 answers overall. So you're gonna get the information as person with IP address of XYZ answered 4. And that's what will be positive. The rest will be negative, essentially, or like positive, 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 negative, 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 for example. Yeah. Now, go on.
Can I just jump in? Sorry. Does that mean then that, just to state the obvious, that the number that comes directly after Q is matches with what question it is in the questionnaire?
Go. Question 0. That's the answer. So okay. Q, yes, no, Q probably stands for question. So you're gonna have question 0. And they go with your 9 answers, which is Aldi, Lidl, Tesco, up to 9.
It's got an underscore before you have the second number. So it's 0 underscore, and then that's
which is supposed to be one of these exactly. So when it's question 0, you know it's this one basically, and then the underscore is supposed to basically identify which is the answer basically. So whether it's Aldi, Lidl, Tesco, Sainsbury's, Morrison, Asda, and so on, so on, so on. Okay, that's just the basic information regarding like which shop you've shopped in, I guess, select where you shopped in the last month, And now,
Casper, may I ask you something?
Yeah, go
Sorry,
on.
I have a really stupid question, but I opened the file you sent, and it looks slightly different on my screen than it does on yours.
Okay.
I don't have the same information. It's different information in my file. And
how does it look like? What do you have exactly that's different? Because it might be that I've downloaded this right now.
It might be.
No, but I have downloaded several times, and it's the same content, but it's not.
It's not this, is it? By any chance?
No.
Are you on on variable view instead of data
Yes, so there is two views. Yeah, there's data view and there's a variable view, which you change over here on the bottom two bars.
Okay,
You don't have this one as in data view turned on by any chance.
Okay, figured out. Yeah, thank you,
yeah,
guys.
that's it. Okay, good.
Yep.
Okay, well, actually, we're gonna jump into data view straight away, actually, because that's the best way to kind of understand it all. So next, if you want to understand what were the answers and what do they really mean and who gave them, you look at the data view. So the first two is what he said were his pilot answers. So what we're going to do is we're going to mark the first one and mark the second one. I did it by holding control so I can mark multiple at the same time, like that. If you can just mark one, then press delete. Mark second one, press delete. This way, you've deleted the data that he, as Martin himself, as a biased sort of a person, put himself. He just knew there was two of them because that's what he'd used as pilot. So he filled it, and I suppose another person filled it. Now I'm going to go back. Just turn that back. So now you can probably tell, is what I'm assuming at least, from the fact that the status is 1 and there's no IP address in the first one, and the second one has just his IP address, which I assume he knows, or he just knew that the first two were his. Okay, so it's really simple to figure out which one were yours as long as you know how many pilot tests you did. Okay. So this one's preview and this is anonymous. So I suppose this was him just previewing it, and the first one is just actually him answering the questions for the first time. So I'm going to mark this one, I'm going to mark this one, and delete it. Yeah? Does everyone follow this? Feel free if you say that there's a problem with it, because that's what we're here for.
It's the first two rows, right?
Yes, the first two complete rows.
Okay.
And you just tell that basically just from the IP address and the status?
Well, I assume so. Well, yeah, you can definitely from the IP address, because if you look, there's no IP address in the first one, and there is his IP address in the second one.
But you as a researcher would know which
how
data
many
you have to be.
Yeah, as a person that you put these questionnaires out there, you know how many pilots you had beforehand. So if you had your, I don't know, sister, brother, boyfriend, mother answer the questionnaire first, you know that, I don't know, those 5 people were your pilot studies. So instead of deleting the first 2, you're going to delete the first 5, I guess. Is that 5?
I can't seem to be able to delete on my end. I don't know why.
So I guess if you were just to right click it and click clear, that will work just fine. Now back to the Mac issue. No idea how do you right click. So.
Oh no, it's working.
Okay. So yeah, but either you do it on your keyboard, just press delete or just del, or you press, oh, there's 2 people in the waiting room. Wow. I start to understand why the stand was constantly like, and it's accepting people randomly. Okay, makes more sense. All right, so I'm gonna delete them again. This way, all of this data now is the answers that I actually got from random people. Yeah. Now, another thing that we know instantly is, number 1, if one of them was using the same IP address. So for example, this is the way to find out if someone's cheating, really. So this is the way we know that we will not be able to cheat this. And if we were to give someone actual questionnaires, then this is how they'd catch you. So you cannot fill every single survey with just your IP address, because then, well, just yourself, and pretend that there was 9 different people, because the IP address is always going to be the same. So for example, these 2 people, it might be that just it was, I don't know, 2 friends in the same household, or 2 people in a library filling it together, or, you know, at the same time in the same internet sort of a connection. Yeah, these 2, because their IP address is identical. But if you have, for example, 9 of them, then you pretty much have to delete a few, because it could be biased data. That's what he said back then, that the IP address is how you kind of get it. That you can sort of understand that basically it is also this location, latitude and longitude. If they're identical, that means the people were in the same sort of spot. So you know that these ones are all university, I think he said. So they're all pretty much the same-ish, if not the same. But it's the IP address in this, and that's made. Okay, Francesca, go on.
All right, I didn't mean to interrupt. I was curious if if Martin covered what if a submitter made a mistake on the first try and then resubmit again.
I think you're gonna see it through number one, the missing value, which is gonna be these. So you're gonna change this as, for example, I think he changed this as like basically like I'm not certain which one he pressed over here, but he changed the missing value to 999, and I'm not certain how to do this. I guess we can ask him that specific question. But when you have a maximum, like a massive missing value over here, then if they missed questions, for example, 4 of them or so on, because they just, I don't know, turned off the questionnaire by an accident, you're gonna see that all of these last ones, like for example these ones, like, oh my god, why is it not marking? This is what I meant. So basically all of these ones, for example, have 99999999999 over here. So it just instantly messes up your data. So he says that this is an outlier, so he just deletes it.
Oh, okay.
So, and then you'd go back here. I guess you can also look at the duration in seconds, how long it took them. This one took 3,129 seconds. I don't want to calculate how many minutes that is, but that feels quite a long time to fill in the survey, considering some people did it in 1 minute. So there's a big difference, I guess. But then again, people will just leave it and fill it in later, I guess. So I guess that will be also sort of a thing he's going to look at, but he didn't mention that, so that's just me completely guessing, okay? But there's lots of information from here that you can get at whether or not the data has been fake, or whether or not there's been the same person answering multiple times, or multiple different things like that. Okay, now back to the variable view. The first thing he did really was, if I remember correctly, was to change the decimals. Well, first he looked at values, but let's go with decimals first, because we're going to go from left to right. Okay, so decimals over here, and I'm going to explain in 1 second what do they mean, and basically what each of these means. I'm pointing with my finger like an idiot, and then I realize you guys can't see my finger. So let's start with the name. This is the simple name of this sort of a column or row or whatever. With question 0_1, it basically relates back to these, yeah? Where am I? That's not what I wanted. This. So it relates back to these. With 1, you're not going to have multiple of these. You're going to have basically question 1. Okay, because the answer is, I believe, only one answer over there. Okay, so you've got 4 answers, and it's not multiple choice. It's basically just one answer, and it will be put on a scale, I guess, or it might have been nominal, or no, this one is nominal, I think, if I remember correctly. But that we'll get to that all together in a second. But I don't want to jump ahead. So each of these corresponds to your questions or to your general information. Yeah. Everyone gets that? That's pretty simple. It's just name. But if you have any questions or issues with that, just do tell.
What is the point of all of the other bits at the top? Like before the questions start? Yeah. So what did you say that was?
So I assume, because he didn't explain as well, these are related just to what Qualtrics basically collected on its own. This is this background data. I as a researcher did not ask them to fill in their IP addresses or duration or all these things. These things are done purely by Qualtrics, and they are given to you, what I assume is for the data view. So this, for example, you look over here and you look duration, right? And I understand that this probably, duration in seconds. It relates back to this. So then you know how long it took them. You go back into variable view and you go, I don't know, the IP address back here, you see the IP addresses over here. So it's all about basically having that data back in here as well. Now, if you look at the data view as well, if you scroll sideways, you see all the answers as well. See? So if I go like over here, question 01, 02, 03, and so on, so on, and so on. So over here, I know that, for example, person, why is these cameras are so annoying? I cannot move this. It's blocking my view. Okay, perfect. So I see, for example, that this is one person. I scroll to the side. And I see that this one person with this specific IP address answered yes, as in 1, to the 0305. If I go back to my questions, which is no. Yeah, this is it. I see that 3 is Tesco. So they shopped in Tesco, and I believe it was 5 some Morrisons. So I know that they did not shop in any of these Sainsbury's, Asda, Co-op, Waitrose in Iceland. So all of this, essentially all of the information you get in the variable view is just translated back into the data view, so it makes more sense to you. Okay? Does it make more sense? See some nodding from Hashim.
So
yeah,
the data view basically is, because it's so big, they put the variable view. No.
So so look at this way. The variable view, yeah, looks basically at your questions. These are your questions. That's all the information about your questions. Like this question is numeric because there is answer between 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, not a probably like I guess string answer has more than just numbers. It has 0 decimals because it's just 1, 2, 3 answers sort of a thing. So the final result is going to be either 1, 2, 3 sort of a thing. Yeah. And its answer is Aldi. It's on a scale. I swear to God, this one is nominal, but doesn't matter. It's on a scale, and then basically, I don't know why a line is there, but basically all this stuff, yeah? Data view is your answers to these questions.
Right.
So variable just looks at all the stuff that you've put yourself and makes it into like this kind of statistics. So basically, question 0, 1 has this and this information that you're going to extract from it. Okay, whatever you change over here, so for example, you have got these and these decimals, it's going to change everything on the data view as well. Okay, so basically in here, you basically look at your questions. In here, you look at your answers.
So on the left-hand side there, all the like numbers 1 to whatever, that's like person number 1.
Yeah, person 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and God, how many? Yeah, the 98 people here. So yeah, each of these is essentially a person. Subject number 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 until 98. Does it make sense to everyone? I'm seeing semi sort of people nodding, semi sort of not. If not, just tell me this is what we're here for. I'm not a lecturer. I don't fucking get this as well. I'm just kind of saying whatever I do understand.
You're doing great. Thank you so much for doing this.
Oof. It's a pleasure. Okay, so if that's fine, I can jump on. If not, then do tell. I need to check the chat, I guess. I don't even know how to check the chat in here. How does one? Can someone check the chat for me? Tell me if there's anything.
Yeah, there's nothing for you in the chat, don't worry.
Okay, good. Okay, good. I need to check if there's anyone else joining as well. No.
Someone said, can you explain all of that again?
Yeah, of course, Hashim. And I say that I hear. Now I've been able to open the chat. I can tell that it's you saying it out loud.
Someone, Hashim. Someone, yes.
No, I'm kidding. No, it's all right.
No, I guess you do, because otherwise I'd be mad. You weren't listening. So yeah, that's pretty much it when it comes to understanding which one's which. Yeah, questions, answers. Now let's back to the variable. So the name is the name of your question / the information you're getting. So that's the first column. Next is the type of the answer. Now, the type refers to in what way you will gain the answer. Now, again, guys, I'm not 100% sure on all of this, so I might make mistakes. So if on one point you learn better, please do inform me in this whole group, okay? But from what I understand is that this is the way the answers can be basically recorded. So for example, for the recorded date, the answer you're gonna get is a date. You're not gonna get a number 5436798. You're gonna get an actual date. With a string on his video thing recording that he did of the lecture, he explained that the string basically refers to not having just numbers. Now, considering the IP address is a string, I'm assuming it's also like dots and things like that. Hello, Yara. So basically, I assume that string has more than just numbers in it. So it has sort of more information. I suppose maybe letters. I'm not certain. Numeric is just purely numbers. So that's pretty much it for numeric. Yeah? Everyone cool with that? I mean, that's not a lot, really. I think you can change them as well to being different ones. No, if you press these... Yeah? Sorry? you're saying?
Could you take the date part? Could you take it again?
Sorry, I could not hear you. It sounds like you're having a wind in your microphone, and that has me a little bit.
Take the date part again.
Again, nothing. Cannot hear.
I'll just put in the chat. Never.
She's
Okay.
asking you to do it once again.
For the date. Wait. For what am I doing once again? Do tell, because I don't want to do the whole thing once again.
It's the date part.
Check that.
Oh yeah. So whoa. Let me turn it on. So what do you mean? Can I take the date part again? So if I look at the date, yeah. So what I assume is that that's gonna be the answer for it. So basically in here, if you click, okay, so I'm gonna go to the date. Let's go to the start date over here. In here you've got those 3 dots, which allows you to change the information as a whole. If you click that, you are able to change all the information to whatever you really want it to be. So for example, if a start date for some fucking reason was in dollars, because you wanted, I know, because they had to pay with dollars. So instead of you go payment and they had to put in how much they paid, you go to dollar, click that, and then I assume that would be like how many dollars they paid. So with date, all you do is you check the type of the answer that it is. So in here you've got day, months, year, hour, minute, second. I suppose you can change it to numerous different ones. Yeah, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, January, February. So you can change it to however you want. So when you go into data view later on, instead of seeing the date as a number of this kind, you'll see basically, I know, January or June or anything else. And that's the data. By the way, that data is already collected. So that data is already input into the Qualtrics whilst the survey or questionnaire is being done. So all you do here is, for example, if I change it, if I understand it correctly, if I change it to Monday, Tuesday, and then go into here, now that still goes in, oh, there you go, Wednesday. So we know all of these have been changed on Wednesday. Well, answered on Wednesday. So if I go into date again, change that, and I'm assuming he used something like day, month, year. Click that, data view again, there we go. 25th October 2017. So basically all of these just give you the specific answer that you are looking for. The answer that's already basically been collected. This is just the way you want to look at it. Yeah, that's it for types. Anything else? Did I answer the question? Is that the question? Being a lecturer is so weird online. I'm not hearing anyone say anything, so I'll assume that's a yes.
No, that was clear. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, next. With I've got no clue. And I'm not gonna lie over here, I do not understand that part at all, but he looked at it and then he basically just skipped it over. So I'm not gonna explain that one. That one, I guess, is something completely different. I guess I could guess at it, but I don't want to. Oh God, yeah, I did. Next, we're gonna jump into the thing that he did actually pay attention to, and that was the decimals. Now, each of your answers, oh my God, I need to take everything off. But, if you look at the decimals, so each of the answers is gonna be basically recorded in some sort of a form of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? If we look over here, for example, question 2 is from 0 to question 7. Now the decimals will allow you later on to precisely give you the answer in regards to what they gave you. So for example, that's what I understand from it as well. This is, again, could be a little bit different, but I assume this is what he wanted to do with it. So if someone, for example, 10 people answered 2, and I don't know, 5 people answered 3, you're gonna go in between of that. Okay, go on, Yara. Yeah, what's the question?
No, I just wanted to say what width is.
Yeah, go on, please do.
It's basically just how long the number is. So if it's like thousands, you'd need to put a different width than if it's billions and etc. That's basically what it is.
Okay, that's fair. That makes sense why all of these have width of 225 and these are only at 40s. Okay, well, I'll still assume that this is a data, the width was set, I assume, by the Qualtrics. So I hope we don't have to worry about how long the data thing is, but that's cool. That's good. Good. One thing answered. One question I had as well. But back to the decimals then. What Martin did is he basically changed each of these to 2. So instead of having an answer of just 1, you get an answer of, for example, 1.5, because this is the, I suppose, an average of these answers, sort of a thing. Or when you have percentages and how many people answered A, B, C, D, you don't get 35%, you get 35.64, for example. Okay? Does it make sense? So the decimals is basically something that makes your answer more specific. Okay? So, well, not your answer, the answers you got. Yeah. So I'm going to change each of these to 2. Okay? So that I get.
Really stupid question, but when you put 2, is that as in to 2 decimal places?
Yep. Oh, God. I don't need
Sicko. You can tell I haven't done it since GCSE.
But yeah, that's it. I mean, you got it. So yeah. Now.
Give me my Nobel Prize.
Now next, the label is what, if I just make it larger, is what the question is, or what this refers to, basically. So if we look at this again, in here, that's question 0, and that was going to be the answer. So that's wrong again. So the data set is going to have a label. Why is it small again? Do I have 2? Yeah, I have 2 of them turned on. Great. I'll turn this one off. No. Okay. So the label basically refers back to the name of the question / just basically what this is. So this is question 0. So you know this is Aldi. It's the same thing with answer. So basically the value is your answer, and 1, for example, in this case. So this is quite binary in this case. This is 0 or a 1, yes or a no in this case, meaning it's either yes Aldi or no Aldi. In this case, 1, meaning a yes, would be Aldi. A 0 would be just a missing value sort of thing. So there's just nothing, you don't get it there. Like, that's it. Okay, does it make sense to everyone? Like these values / labels, like what they are and what they're there for? I'm gonna go more into values in just 1 second.
Yeah, that makes sense to me anyway.
Anyone else? Because there's plenty of us here. If you guys don't understand anything, just do say this is what we did this for. I mean, I'm not Martin.
Actually, I have a question, but I don't know if you can answer.
Go on.
Why isn't it just one question, and then in the values, each option is an answer? Why did he put each answer as a question?
See, that's why I asked him why it was from 0 to 9, because if you look at question, for example, question number 3.1, right? You get 7 answers, right? And yet question 3.1 is just one sort of I keep telling this on. It's just one question.
Yeah.
Right?
I think I have the answer to this.
Yeah, go on. But
different kind of data.
Yeah, this one, each of these is basically a shop. You don't look at a scale from 1 to 7. It's all a multiple answer sort of a thing. So each of these is going to be, for example, people can shop at Aldi, Lidl, Tesco, and Sainsbury's at the same time. So what I am guessing at is that he basically put it so that when he looks at the data view sort of a thing, why is it so massive now? You get a yes, a no, a yes, a no, 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 no. So you instantly have the answers to which ones he has it as a yes, rather than having to look at specific like random 7.5, because it wouldn't make sense if it's 7.5. What does that mean? Like what? They chose 7 and 2, and then, you know, and how does it work, sort of a thing. Yeah, it's 7 and 2, that'd be 9. Okay, it doesn't matter, but basically, yeah, you get the idea. So in here, he gets a positive answer to each of these, meaning he gets an answer to each of the shops as to yes and no. It's as Keir said, it's a different data sort of a thing. This is how I understand it.
Nominal data.
Yeah, exactly. But again, this is how I understood it. And again, there might be a different purpose. I am 90% certain there is a way to do it in one sort of a question. Like, there's no way you have to go with 9 different ones. Swear to God, there is a way to do it as a multiple choice and he just got lots of list of data in one answer. But I think this is just the easier way to do it to go with it, I guess.
Can I add something here? Can
Yeah,
you
sorry.
me? Yeah, so I remember Martin telling us that he has put all of them separately because you can choose like multiple answers, as you said, and the other one is not separate because there's just one answer to it. That is what you said. So here we are not putting all of these 9 options to 9 or however much these are options together, because we need to like evaluate it separately, who goes where and how many times. So probably that is why.
I mean, this is what I kind of got from it as well, which doesn't change the fact I think there's probably a way to make it into one table. I mean,
also another thing that Martin did in the lecture was he went down. So you see on the far right there, it says scale.
Yeah, but I'm getting there in a moment. Don't worry. I'm getting there. I'm still starting. I'm going from the left to right when it comes to values, the missing columns, and all these things.
Okay.
And then when we get to measure, I'm going to mention measuring, so that we understand everything step by step. Next, when it comes to values, because the other thing that he changed at one point is he, for example, went into, I think it was 7 or something like that. If you go into here, he did that, but okay. Well, let me check this one. So basically, maybe this one then, 4.1. Let me just have a quick look at 4.1, because what at one point he did is he showed us that, very easy to use, very difficult to use, not useful at all, very extremely useful. So each of these is a label, right? But if you look over here, all you have is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1 equals 1. What Martin did is, when you look at this, for example, let's go with 4. Let's go with 4 because it's quite simple. That's the answer. It's very easy to use or very difficult to use. You click these 3 dots, you go into 1, and instead of 1 as a label, you write very easy to use. And that's an okay. I think that's it. Oh, no. That's, sorry again. That you need to press change instead. Very, very easy to use. And is it, oh my God, I have to try it again. Change, and then 7, it'd be hard. Change. Yeah, okay. That's basically how it is. All right. So now when you look, I assume, back to the data set, you're gonna get an answer between 1 and basically you know the scale. Oh my God, God damn, those cameras are so annoying. You go back here, you're gonna go over here. So you got the scale. It's still 1, but I'm assuming he did it as a label for some reason. I guess there's a way to extrapolate the data a little bit better in some way, but we're gonna get to it in a second. So basically what he did though is label the worst one or the best one in this case, sort of a thing, and the best / worst one on the other, the 2 spectrums. He labeled 2 spectrums somewhere, which he did on the questionnaire itself as well. I called it "it'd be hard" because I couldn't be able to bother to type, but that's the idea, right? You get the gist of it. So 1 in this case is the worst sort of a thing or the best, and 7 is the worst, I guess, in this case. Don't know what is this. Online grocery shopping. Okay, yeah. That's the best, that's the worst. And that's also another thing he mentioned at one point, but that might have been in a lecture or something like that, which was basically changing, it might have been Vita actually, changing these things. Well, that's back to the questionnaire, like back around. So when people just answer, highest, the data is loaded. It's not the proper answer. They didn't care. So they actually had to read it, and I think that was Vita. But yeah, I suppose that's also why you label it later on, so you are aware which one's the best and which one's the worst. So you have the idea of very easy to use is 1. So you're like, okay, so answer 2 is a good answer, rather than thinking 2 is like shit because it's so low, so it must be a bad answer. Labeling things in SPSS is just supposed to make it easier for yourself, from what I understood at least. Now, it's basically the same with all of these. So you can basically rate it if it's on a scale or nominal. Well, nominal I guess not, but nominal too. There's this one is a nominal. I'll explain what I mean in a second. But this one basically means that there is a male and a female answer 1 is male, answer 2 is female, and that's your values, that's your labels. So when you hear C, not hear 1, that's a male. When you see 2, that's a female. Is that fine? Everyone gets the idea of values? Okay, good. I see Amy having a good. Anyone else? I see rather just blank stares and just sadness in your eyes. So yeah, okay, great. I will take it as a this is fine. This is fair. This is fine. Next, we jump into the missing values. Again, he didn't change it, so I'm not certain which one to fill over here. Or if he did change it, I wasn't paying attention at that moment. But basically, is what he said is that he changes the missing value to be like an extreme. So when you look back into the data view, instead of seeing a 6, you're gonna see 999, which is like what the fuck. So when you see your answers, it's gonna be like a few thousand, which is so off. So you have to actually go back and see where the missing value is. Again, from what I understood, he just basically removed these. Whenever there were too many missing values, sort of a thing, like you don't want that to completely throw you off. Throw this here. Next, columns. I guess I'm not certain actually what that will relate to, but he just basically said like nah, and then went next. So I assume it's related to something. If someone has an idea what columns is related to, please do tell me, but that's just, I guess that's completely pointless to understand, as well as the alignment. These ones this is important, but anyone an idea what either of these are? If not, I'll just go through them. If not, let's just go through, because that's pointless, I guess. Next, we go to the important part of measure. So this is how you basically measure your information, right? So if we get an idea of whether the Aldi stores, whether you went to an Aldi store or not, it's an answer, I guess, of a no or a yes. Now, please do correct me, but I swear to God, this was nominal. Right? Because it's a yes or a no sort of a thing. It cannot be in the middle of anything. It's not a scale like, yeah, I've been going, well, I'm on a scale between Tesco and Sainsbury's in my shopping. No,
can anyone explain what nominal means? I didn't really get the slide.
Yes, absolutely. So when you look at scale, think of basically a ruler like this one. You have numbers from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and you're somewhere on that line, right? So someone can be over here, someone can be here, and then when you compile all the data, you basically can look at the combined data in the middle of it, sort of a thing, or like the median or the mode of it, whatever you need at that point. And then you basically have, like, for example, I don't know, people, for example, you take 100 people, whether they like Apple or not. And the scale is from 1 to 10. And most people answer 9, but there's a few people answering 2. So that's going to throw off your scale a little bit. So it's going to be like a 7. So you know that your main answer, the most common answer, is 9. That's, I believe, your mode. Yeah. But your mean is 7.4, for example, or something like that. So you know that on a scale, everyone as a whole, they like Apple 7 out of 4 out of 10. But the people that like it a lot because they like it with 9. Does it make sense when it comes to scale?
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, that's confused me a bit more.
Okay. So with a scale, it's pretty much just being somewhere on. Maybe someone has a better explanation of it then, because that's how I see it in my brain. Anyone else can explain the scale better?
I feel like I got the idea of what a scale was, and then you started talking about means and modes, and I thought,
okay.
Do I even know what a scale is? A scale is a scale, right? Like it's like the rate it from 1 to 10.
It's essentially a rating. Yeah. And then when you take a mean, you take, for example, okay, so a mean is if you have a number 2, someone answers. So you have 5 people answering this question, or 10 people. Let's go with 10 because that's easy to divide. You have 10 people answering these questions. And the question is, I don't know, do you like owls, right? Do you like owls? And, you can say how much you like them, owls. And people say from 1 to 10 how much they like them. And like I said, let's say 9 people, let's say 5 people. Let's say 5 people answered 10. They fucking love them owls. They're like, owls? you know, I'm into those like so much. Other 5 of those people are like not so certain. Like owls are cool. That's a 5. That's not the best. You know, I'm fine with owls, but I don't love them. Right now, from that you get 5 people who answered 10. So overall, you have a 50 as a number of all these numbers combined, and then 5 people who answered 5, which is 25. Right? You add it all together. That's where you get. That's 75. All right. Now, from that, you can get that the average of how people like owls, meaning the mean, is 7.5. Because 75 divided by 10, because there was 10 participants, is 7.5. So that's your average. Yeah. The mode, in this case, would be high because you can't really get it. But let's go with, if you had 6 people who said they love owls so much, and they said 10, and 4 people who said 5, your mode is 10. Because that's your most common answer. And I swear to God, I understood that right? I didn't mess it up, right? Okay, good. Stress, you know, I haven't done maths in years. Okay, does it make sense, everyone?
Yeah, that makes sense. Just to clarify then,
yeah,
when you select the measure as being a scale, you will either, when you at some point later will have to decide whether you use mode or median, mode or mean.
I suppose so. I guess it probably is somewhere there, either calculated for you or you do it yourself at one point. Maybe it measures both of them. I'm not quite certain on that one, but that's what you can get out of a scale sort of a thing. Like this is how you can kind of deal with it. But then again, you can get a mode out of pretty much everything. But that's basically the mean is what you care about with a scale, really.
Oh, okay. So you would only be able to
out of everything
work. Okay, so you'd only be able to work out the mean from the scale. Not
you can work out a mode. You can work out a mode. You can.
Yeah, but not the mean.
The one you want. Yeah, the one you want the most is a mean.
I'm with you. Thank you.
No worries. That makes sense. So basically, with each of these, with your blessing, because I see someone nod, we change all of these to nominal, because that's an answer of yes or a no sort of thing. Now I'm going to explain in a second what nominal is, but let's just change it first so I can explain it better. With nominal, think of a pretty much an answer of whether it's basically a 1 or a 2 sort of a thing, or a yes or a no. It's basically what he said over here. It's like you've got 3 different circles. Each of these kind of explain exactly what they are. A scale is, well, a scale of some sort. Ordinal, I will explain in a second because I'm kind of confused about it myself, but let's go with this over here. And with leaving that for a second, I mean. And nominal is basically an answer or a yes or a no, or, you know, being male or female. Basically, you have to choose. There's no, you cannot be 2 of them at the same time, sort of a thing. Okay, does everyone agree with it? Does everyone make sense of it? Does it make sense? If anyone has a different idea for it, do say though, again, because I make my mistakes. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Yeah, I would, just how I sort of understood it is like, just from a language point of view, like ordinal is order, nominal means noun, so words which are sort of exclusive and definite.
As I was about to jump to ordinal, from what I understand, yeah, it's an order sort of a things. But then again, I'm not 100% sure on that one. I know he mentioned it in one of his. Yeah, someone was saying something.
Yeah, sorry. So ordinal is like if you run say you're running a race and you've got first, second, third place. That's ordinal data, but it doesn't show you necessarily how far apart first place and third place, or first place and second place are from each other. Whereas a scale, it would be equal difference between the two. Then nominal is just an exclusive, definitive answer, essentially.
Okay, what Keir said makes absolute sense, because what I do remember is when you look back at the questions, is we reached this one question where it goes over here. It's the first question. The first question over here. And he says over here, in a typical week, how often do you visit a grocery store, right? Either online or in store, just overall. And it mentions once a week, 2-3 times a week, 4-6, or daily. Now, you'd think it can go on a scale, but it's not equal. Once a week is just 1 day per week. 2, 3 makes it in 2 days per week. 3, 4, 6 makes it again 2 days per week, and then daily makes it 7. These are, it's not a scale, you know, you cannot be put like equally. Like if you wanted to make it a scale, you'd go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sort of a thing, and then they have to pick it sort of a thing. But I suppose you don't have to be so specific. This is more of a, I do remember he said this is an ordinal question when it comes to the answers, because you're gonna get either of these and they're not equal to each other. Again, they cancel themselves out. All right, does it make more sense?
That makes sense, thank you.
Okay, anyone that is struggling with any of these still? Silence, silence. And I'm doing the hammer thing like they do in auctions. Say first, second, third. Okay, let's continue. Okay, now we're going to go into the fun part of making pie charts out of it with percentages and everything else. So now is the part where I got confused myself, and then I understood it, and I thought, wow, I should probably tell other people about this, which led us to this, and it's been an hour already, and I'm still stressing out. So I'm gonna move these cameras away again because they're pissing me off. Even though I like seeing your faces, it makes so much more sense when you always ask us for cameras. This is so much more nicer when you see a reaction. Okay, let's go with a question. Okay, well, okay, first, actually, we should probably change each of these to something. So, for example, this is an nominal, this is an ordinal. This one, I don't know what that is. The purchase, I don't know. I have to change each of these, but I can't be bothered. So I'm just gonna change, like, let's go with 3s. Each of these is a scale. So each of the from 3 to 3.5 is a scale. So basically you go into this, and 3 to 3.5, that's all a scale. That's confirmed to be a scale. So normally you just change it into being a scale. Okay, this one, this one, this one, this one. Okay, I think these ones as well are scales. This is nominal because that's gender. So you go with nominal. Age, I don't know what answers he put there, but I'm gonna assume that's ordinal because that's probably like 18 to 20 something and something. What is it again? Oh no. Yeah, no. I'm not certain then. I guess it's kind of like a scale, but it's kind of ordinal because you've got these two. I'm not certain. Anyway.
Yeah, I think he said both, but we settled on scale.
Okay, then that works. These would be nominal, wouldn't it? 7.3. Will actually fit that as well. Nominal. Okay, let's go with the scale because that's easiest to understand really. So you look at, let's all click on question 3.1. Okay, and I hope everyone's following me on SPSS so they actually can follow it later on and understand each of these better when they look at it themselves. Right? You look over here and you go over to analyze because that's what we're doing, right? We're analyzing some statistics. So you go to analyze, right? Now again, statistics. So you're gonna go into descriptive statistics, and you're gonna click the frequencies. Okay. Everyone fine with it? Click these. Okay. Good. 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 Next, in here, you gotta choose which one of these you wanna pick really. Okay. So I'm gonna scroll down until I see the 3.1. Chat. Okay, Hashim went to get some food. Nice. I already have students leaving. It's ridiculous. Clearly, I'm not that engaging. 3.1, you basically click it twice. It jumps into the variables. You go on to charts. You choose a pie chart. You choose percentages because that's what you want. You click continue. You click OK. Bang, we have a pie chart. How cool is that? Now that's all awesome, but where is our percentages? Great question. Now you click it twice. Another pie chart appears? Yes, but this is a chart editor. How smart. You right click that and you basically just click show the data labels and you can just close this. That's it, done. You have percentages. You can close that as well.
So does it on this, will it on any question, basically, will it just automatically do it for you on this?
Pretty much. So
this is like the easy part, basically.
Essentially, yes. He made it look like it's some fucking science, but it's really just clicking, like analyzes because frequencies. Let's and you can do multiple questions at the same time, by the way. So if I want to go this one and I want to click, for example, I don't know, this one and this one and this one, and it's all charts, it's all pie charts. You can choose which one you want, by the way. Yeah, pie charts, bar charts, histograms, whatever you want. Percentages or frequencies. Let's go again with percentages. Okay. There we go. This is our statistics. We go down. That's our pie charts for each of these questions. Question 7, question 6, question 2, and question 1. Again, you repeat the same process as you did before. Double click on this one, right click on this one, show data. Close. Yeah, that's it. Do you purchase in a grocery store? Double click, right click, show data. Close, close. Some people clearly do. That's the answers as well. I believe these are your labels. That's why you need to have your label. So you're gonna have 1 extremely unlikely in this case, 7 extremely likely. So you know most people are extremely likely or on a 5 scale sort of thing. Okay.
I'm absolutely raging that I couldn't get that from a 2-hour lecture.
Right? Swear
yeah, me too. I was thinking that as well. I was like, why did I find it so confusing?
Right? When you get this far, it's like I don't know how he did it. Like I genuinely, I looked at it back and I was like, this is it. That's it. That's it. I got my percentages. That's done. Whenever he started talking about it, I was like, what's going on? But that's it.
That's shocking.
That's essentially all the information on SPSS that he told us so far. Again, that's so many females over here. Who did he target it at? Okay. Done.
Obviously, females are the only ones who do the weekly shop. So
clearly, whoa, jeez.
That was said
how
with
could I
irony.
not think about that? No, how could I not think about that? You know, that this is an.
Well, I know.
Yeah, but that's it. That's the SPSS for everyone. For the dummies, and that's us.
Oh my god. I'm so raging, but I'm so grateful. Thank you so much for doing that.
But it does make sense now, right? This is the percentages is like the most important part, I guess. Being able to change the again, I'm pointing with my finger. Being able to change the measure, and then jumping onto percentages, sort of this random thing with the analyze descriptive frequencies. You choose which one you want. Okay, that's the most important part, really. Once you get that and you know what your data is, you've done the questions, you've done everything. This is it. This is where your information is colorful and pretty.
Okay.
That's it.
When you've done the pie chart, do you save it somewhere or do you just...
So it shows you to save it. I'm not certain. I never clicked yes. So I guess, yeah, analyze. I'm going to go into 3.1 since this is just a test run anyway. Analyze the script. I'm going to turn these off. Oh, by the way, if you clicked accidentally on them to throw them over here, you double click them again to throw them out. Yeah. And I'm going to do this one. Pie chart again. Percentages. Yeah, that's all set. Okay. Let's go. Double click. Close. Let's see. Okay, yeah, guys, it just saves as a document separately. So if I say save it on my desktop, let's see if it opens just this file then. Yeah, that's it, and that's what it opens. So you can just save it as a separate thing, I guess, if you wanted to. That's it.
Thanks.
I went a little bit over 1 hour. It's because people were late. You know, I hope
you technically did it in 45 minutes because we started at 1:15.
Look at me.
So you've absolutely sped through it.
Yeah. But now, before we start getting excited, does anyone not understand anything when it comes to data view, variable view, measurements, missing values, labels, anything? Now is the time.
Yeah, I do have a question.
Go on.
So it may sound very stupid from me, but why do we get to change the measure manually from nominal to scale or from scale to nominal? Why do we do that?
Well, perfect question. Perfect question, because I've got no fucking clue. I honestly thought this would be done for us, right? It would make sense that once you put a question from A, B, C, D, they have to answer somewhere on that scale, and they are very much between C and B, it will automatically choose scale. But clearly SPSS is, as Martin said, I think twice or 3 times, stupid. So we basically have to do it ourselves. I honestly think it's not that much of a bother, considering when you do it yourself, you know exactly what they are, because you had to talk about them anyway. And then you get cool pie charts and you don't have to do them yourself. So that's kind of cool. But other than this, I can't answer this question because I don't know. I don't know why it is manual. It's just weird.
What would happen, do you reckon, if we like left the measure as like the wrong one and then tried to do a pie chart?
So let's go with this one's a scale, right? Because we changed the decimals, by the way, that's why the percentages are with dot point, 54 and so on. So I don't know, actually. Let's check. Let's change this one to nominal. Let's go into the, which one is it? It's just 2. So analyze descriptive statistic frequencies, number 2. Okay. Okay, I didn't throw it there, but that's fine. No, I don't want to save it. Again, analyze this frequencies. Number 2. I don't want this one. Charts, pie chart, free. Okay. I'm not quite certain. I guess maybe it gives you the data somewhere here then ish, which is going to be wrong.
Maybe it's not now. Maybe it's the stuff we're going to learn later in SPSS that gets
I think so.
confused.
I think it's going to make sense later rather than now. For now, it makes sense to me that you want it to be correct before you basically do any sort of analyzing. That's like number one sort of thing. You need to make sure you have it certainly set onto a correct measure. That way you know you don't have any mistakes. That's so far, this is what I understand from it. I don't know what it changed. I haven't played enough with it yet. I've played with it maybe for half an hour after the seminar or lecture, whatever it was. And then now for 20 minutes after I came back from the shop.
Guys, one more question. Will Martin give us another set of data for the final assignment?
As far as I understood, yes. For the final assignment, we get a specific set of data that was collected some time ago. It'd be cool if it was this one, because I kind of get this one now.
But will we work on this one in during the future lectures?
No idea.
Because, well, should I save the changes now into the document or not?
Yeah, just save them. Why not? Might as well. If he tells us in the next seminar, no, we're not using it, just delete it. It's quite small when it comes to size. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Now I have to figure out how to deal with the recording and where did it go?
I have a question.
Go on.
Can you go through? I mean, you explained it a bit, but what's up with the missing column? What does it actually do?
Okay. So, let's say we go with this whole questionnaire, right? These people have been answering all of these questions and it's been great. But on question 5, they gave up. They were like, I can't be bothered with this. They just quit. I still get the data. I still get the data for all of these, but I don't get anything here. Now, it's not that because they didn't, basically they don't have an opinion on it. It's because they didn't answer. The value for it is missing. It's gone. So with the missing value over here is you set to something high, something really high. I'm not certain which one of these you have to fill in. Yeah. Maybe like discrete missing, and then you put like 999, I don't know, something like that, or something really high. I'm not certain which one you click, but one of these for sure. Yeah. And you set it really high. So then when you are checking your data, now have in mind, each of these is just a question. It refers back to hundreds of people, basically, if you have lots of respondents, right? you don't want your scale to, basically, you don't want there to just be a 0 because that throws you off, but just a little bit. If there is a 0 in your missing value because it just didn't answer, then it's not going to change your answers a lot in the final thing, but it is going to throw you off just a little bit. So basically, I have 10 people, 7 of them answered, 3 of them didn't. My mean on a scale is going to change because that's 3 answers that could be a 5 now are a 0. So what I do is, instead of having a 0 for missing value, I put 9,999. So now my value from 1 to 10 becomes a 9,900, and I'm like, well, this is clearly someone didn't answer. So I can go back and nitpick these answers. So I can nitpick that someone answered, 9,000 in the last 5 answers, which completely throws off my entire statistic, my entire scale sort of a thing, or the whole thing.
Okay.
So I know which ones are the wrong ones. I mean, the wrong ones, the missing ones, the ones that someone didn't answer, the ones that could throw me off. Does that make sense?
Okay, but how? Yeah, but so in the data view, how do we know if we're supposed to keep the missing column as none or if we're supposed to put 99999?
So in the data, so basically, if I change the missing, that's the thing though, each of these, I believe, has been answered. All of these questions have been answered. But if this person, for example, person number 20, yeah, didn't answer question 4.1, then instead of seeing a 2 over here, I'm going to see 999. Because I am going to go into the variable view. I'm going to go into the question number, whichever I was, let's say 2 now, because I forgot which one I mentioned. And I changed that to 999. Yeah, however you do it. And then when I go back into the data view, if they answered, nothing's changing. If they didn't answer, I see 999.
Okay. So should we, like for later, I don't know if we're going to have to do this for the assignment, but for later, should we always have 999 in the missing column?
It's up to you.
Because it's not like we're going to go through everything.
You can set it to whatever you want, from what I understand. He said that he personally sets it to something really high, so he can pick it very quickly. So he can basically go through the data, and it's all basically just numbers of 3 digits essentially, a 3 and a 0 and a 0. If you go down and suddenly there's a long one, then this one's a missing value. So you can be the one that picks them out. I probably guess.
Basically, because
Go on.
Basically, he does it because SPSS doesn't really do it for you.
Yeah, SPSS doesn't do anything with the missing values for him.
Okay.